Hey, everybody. Here I am again, trying to bring you some value during these difficult times. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Laura Maldonado, and Laura is a nutritionist. I thought this was especially powerful, this particular interview with her, because right now, more than ever, we need to really be taking care of ourselves. What you're actually putting in your body could very well have a tremendous impact if you were to get sick. So I just thought, man, what a great time to actually talk to Laura. So, guys, I know you're going to enjoy this. She's got some great tips and some great information. Don't press stop yet. Here's my friend Laura. So, I want to introduce you to a really special friend of mine. Her name is Laura Maldonado, and Laura Maldonado is the owner and operator of Rockin' Nutrition. Hey, Laura, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you.
So, guys, like I said, my goal here is to try and bring this back to our current circumstances with COVID and the lockdown and trying to bring you useful information that can help you. Laura is a nutritionist and she has an interesting background. She used to be in the corporate world and, just decided that she needed to make a massive change in her life and decided she wanted to become a nutritionist. So instead of putting words in her mouth, Laura, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your journey?
Sure. Thanks, Barry. Yeah, so I've actually had an interest in nutrition, believe it or not, for over 40 years. It's something that I have found interesting for most of my life, actually. I would literally read and study things about nutrition on the evenings and weekends because I like it. I eat this stuff up. And so that's where that came from. And yeah, I decided to make a big change after I learned that I was medically diagnosed with gluten intolerance and had lots of stomach issues. I just decided it was time to make that change. So yeah, I became a certified nutritionist, and I haven't looked back. It's been something that is a passion project, I guess, that I get to do for work. I'm lucky.
Yeah, I think that especially as you get, later on in life, we wind up kind of gravitating towards the things that we have the most passion about, as opposed to doing things we don't really want to do for money.
Sure.
We wind up, going towards something like my wife almost died of a seizure disorder back in 2008. Yeah, and that completely turned her whole life around. She looked at every day as a gift,
Yeah.
and she needed to take care of the vessel if she wanted to continue to live. So that's a super important part, and which kind of brings us to where we're at right now. I mean, Laura and I were talking prior to starting the film here, and we were just kind of talking about COVID and the where we're all at with lockdown. And what she said was that one of the things she noticed was that nobody was really talking much about actually the taking care of your immune system, and you know how your immune system reacts to not just COVID but to anything. It's a lifestyle choice sometimes, not all the time. I mean, sometimes you have pre-existing conditions like me. I mean, I had a heart attack a couple of years ago, but what am I doing now? Like, what am I doing to try and help myself? So why don't you touch on that for a minute, Laura?
Yeah. So I would be having conversations with people as COVID, became front and center for all of us. And I would bring up the immune system, and people would literally say to me, well, I should have done it a while ago. And I said, but what about now? You're still alive now,
Yeah.
right? And, yeah, I've been very surprised that nobody really was, maybe I guess they just didn't realize how important it truly is.
Yeah, and I mean, one of some of the things you touched on with me, are not the importance of actually cooking your own meals. I mean, we've kind of been forced into this now because of COVID. I was telling Laura, I can't believe how much money I'm saving, because I mean, when I used to have to go into the office every day, not only was I getting lunch, but I was buying food on the way home. And I've always liked to cook, but my wife is an incredible cook. And it just always, it's just nicer when you're eating your own creation, or you're eating something that has been made with love and care. You know, you can't have the excuse that you're not eating well. I mean, whether or not you choose to cook, some deep fried potatoes, or whether or not you cook, or prepare a really beautiful salad for yourself, you're kind of in control of that. I found personally what really, for me, I mean, most people, it's not that they don't want to cook, they just don't know how. Sometimes, and now with YouTube, man, there's so many channels that will teach you how to do this. But Laura, when somebody comes to you and they say, I don't like to cook, or I don't know how to cook, how do you handle that with them?
Well, so I'll go over a couple of different things with people. The first is helping them understand how to truly make a much better choice when they are ordering out. People think that ordering sweet potato fries is a great choice. Not if it's been deep fried. It just really isn't that great for you.
Right.
It's better, certainly better than a regular French fry. So I show them how to do that, and that's not that hard. The other thing is that I talk to people, and this is something that happens with a lot of my clients, is they feel like they don't have time to cook, they don't like to cook, and so I talk to them about how to make, your a crock pot or an Instapot is your weapon in the kitchen. And so make up a big bunch of something. Let's call it I don't know, how about even a turkey breast in July? Why not, right? Or a chicken, or a pot roast. So have that, for the first night, but I'm going to show you how to take that and turn it into 3 or 4 other meals. And they're going to taste very different. They're going to take you hardly any time. And oh, by the way, if you want to buy some of the stuff that's already prepared and cut for you at the store, fine, no problem. But you're going to wind up having stuff that is better for you. It's going to potentially be quicker than going to the restaurant and ordering it. And by the time you get it home, it just isn't as good.
It's
Yeah.
funny you said that, because my wife does most of the cooking, but I've cooked my whole life, and she came in, poked her head in today, and she said, honey, do you want to make that white bean chili tonight?
Woo.
So I've got my pressure cooker, and I'm making white bean chicken chili for tonight.
Yum.
And it will last us for the next, probably more than my wife wants to eat it, but I like to make a big pot of it, because I'll still eat it 2 or 3 days down the line for lunch or something like that. So yeah, it's a great tip.
Or
Also,
what about putting it into a little container and putting it in the freezer?
yeah, well, there you go. I haven't done that in a while, but that's a good point. I don't have a lot of room in my freezer, though.
Okay.
But so Laura, in addition to, cooking for yourself, and I mean, I'm sure if somebody contacts you, you can show them, not only how to cook for yourself and to make it delicious, but also how to cook for yourself and think about your immune system, and to keep all of these things in mind. You mentioned to me that you have a list of the top 100 most nutritious foods.
Yeah.
And you said that you would give that to anybody that requests it.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest to anybody who's watching this, if you want this list of the top 100 foods, just put a comment into this post. I'm going to put Laura's information at the bottom of the video when we finish. And then you'll also be able to contact her that way. But also, Laura is, she's very passionate about nutrition, obviously. She's a nutritionist. She has a really incredible line of vitamins that she has for her clients. It's not something that you can buy on your own. You either get them from a physician or from somebody like Laura. And she was explaining to me the importance, if you're going to take vitamins, of making sure that you have the right things. So Laura, just touch on that for a second.
Sure. Yeah. So what most people don't realize, and I didn't either actually until I studied a lot more, is that when you go to Costco or CVS, Walmart, and you buy your supplements and multivitamins there, they're actually loaded with a lot of chemicals that are made in a laboratory. And so the multivitamins you're taking are definitely not as effective. Some even go so far as to say they're not effective at all. I'm not going to go there. If that's what's in your budget, okay. But the line of products that I sell, it's not multi-level, and it's actually made from real food. And real food is what your body responds to the best because it gets into the micronutrients, the cells of your body that really make us run and run well and build up our immune system to the best of its ability.
That's awesome. And Laura, you also mentioned that anybody that's watching this, that you're offering, you know, a free 15-minute consultation to kind of just talk about their individual situation. I would assume that everybody's a little bit different, right? So, and that's kind of what that 15 minutes is designed to kind of drill down and find out what they're having their problems with. Weight loss is a big thing. We're all sitting around the house now, you know, kind of mindlessly snacking. I'm sure that that's also an area that you specialize in. Why don't you touch on that for a second?
Yeah. So yeah, I actually do have a number of people that come to me for weight loss. And, you know, I think we've all heard of the quarantine 15. And so there's a couple of different, you know, there's multiple ways to approach weight loss. And so we'll discuss different methods that I can work with you on and see what seems to be a good fit for you. So some people do really, really well with a structured program with food that's actually involved, you know, that comes to them. I can do that. If you're interested in doing something that actually revs up your metabolism, because there's 4 parts that drive our metabolism: our pituitary, our adrenals, our liver, and our thyroid. I have a specific protocol that works for that. And highly effective, and you'll absolutely lose weight. And you eat a lot of food too, by the way, when you're doing it. So I meet you where you're at, and we go from there.
Okay. And I assume you're doing a lot of that via Zoom now, right? Because
Absolutely.
of the virus, yeah?
Yeah.
So guys, look, I can't, you know, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I have some good friends. And the only people that I'm bringing to you like this are people that I know and trust. And, you know, I see Laura on a weekly basis. I've known her for quite some time now. She's just super solid, super genuine. She's I've never seen her try to arm twist somebody into doing anything. She really has a sincere desire to help people. And man, what a great combination. You can't ask for more than that, especially if you're struggling right now. If you feel like you've got nutrition down and you're dialed in, share this with somebody that isn't, you know. I think that we all need to be focused on the little things that we can control now, because there's so much out there that we can't control. So Laura, thank you so much for doing this with me today.
Right.
Really appreciate it. And folks, do yourself a favor, you know, at least get the 100 most nutritious foods, put a comment down there. And if you know somebody that can use Laura, or that, you know, can use that initial consultation, please give her a call.
Thank you, Barry.
Everybody have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay empathetic. Take care.